With that, I'll move on to TechLaunch. TechLaunch is a course we conduct every semester. You will find that has 4 credits, and also you can see a lot of happy individuals in the image there. That's because there's a lot of fun in trying to take a technology. A lot of the projects that you've heard are coming from companies, from startups, from society, etc. Here is one where it starts with the technology. A lot of them come from NUS itself, from professors. Some come from A-Star, or even some startup companies. And these projects then have a technical person who comes with the project, who joins the course as well, who journeys with the team. But the job you have to do is to translate this technology to market, but at the same time not push the technology, but figure out what is the real must-have market need that you want to try to solve. And this is the job in TechLaunch. And in the process, you have a lot of brainstorming, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but as well as just like in enterprise development and InnoVenture, you also meet many people from industry that we bring in onto the course to share with you on their experiences as well. In the process, you are also using various tools as well as figuring out market segments, need, development plan, and then finally having a whole financial plan. If it is to be licensed out, great. But looking at the various market segments, you might find some niche area where you're going to really make a difference. And so then your challenge is to make it into a pitch to try to sell this idea to the market. As you can see, a lot of brainstorming going on there in the images there, and some fun and games as well as you go through the whole process. As you heard from Vinod, there's an eHive event where we invite people from industry like VC funds, incubators, directors of technology to come and listen to your pitch. And this becomes really real, because you have people who are really interested in whatever you have to offer. And usually thereafter, there are sometimes interest, and some of these projects actually end up becoming startups. Here you have a view of how it looked like last semester when it was totally on Zoom, and also in the lower half you can see how it was in person. And just recently we had one which was hybrid. We had both online and in person. Moving on, here are some past projects like Structo, which is in Series B and funded by large corporates right now. But the members who were there are still in the company, still leading, those who took the TechLaunch several years ago. Luminicell is also another company in the chemistry of a particular chemical for detection of cancer. Breathonics, you might have heard. It was in the news recently for detection of COVID from the breath. This came from TechLaunch as well. And then you have Rosesso, which is doing rehab for usually for stroke patients. And Tip Biosystems is yet another company that came out. This is just some examples. And here are examples of our students who have gone through TechLaunch who are now CEOs and holding significant positions in those companies. With that, I'm going to pause for a minute and invite a couple of people to say a few words about TechLaunch. There are quite a few. Victor, would you like to come forward and say a few words? Or, yeah, maybe you should come over here and I'll wear my mask. So Victor had just taken the course just this semester. And Victor.
Yes, so hi everyone. I'm Victor. I took this module called TechLaunch for last semester. I'm quite fresh now. So for this module, as introduced by Prof, right? So first you will be assigned to a project, and you will lead by a technical leader. They will give you technology, but your job is not to push the technology. You need to do the market research and try to find the supermarket to fit this technology in. And then, of course, you need to slightly develop this technology. And even though we are doing some hybrid class for last semester, we are doing partially online, right? We still feel quite interactive for this module. So some good things about this module is that first, I think for someone who's newly to the industry, right, you will get some chance to know more people from the industry. Because every week we got the sharing session, we have a guest speaker from the industry. Some of them are the CEOs and co-founders of the startup companies. And another good thing is that you really need those essential skills for a startup company, like market research, development plan, financial plan, right? And in the end, I want to say that it doesn't matter really, at the end you really got the investment or not, right? Because you already got the experience, and some of the groups will choose to keep working on their project at the end. So in one word, this is an experiential module. So if you want to experience how we build up the startup company from zero, right, you should take out this one.
Thanks, Victor. So, okay, now that he's gone, I'll take off my mask again. So you heard from one person who has gone through. We have some others sitting around. For those of you who are here after the session, you can have some time with them, chatting with them about how it feels like. So here's some more examples of awards that some of our past students have won, both locally and elsewhere. And some of them have been in the media as well. And with that, I'm going to move on to talk about the projects for this semester. So this might be interesting for you because of the latest technologies that are coming out. The very first being a probiotic drink. Now, did you know that every day tens of thousands of tons of bread is wasted in Singapore because they are having to be taken off the shelf because they've gone beyond the expiry date? What do we do with the bread? Well, one of the professors in food science has come up with an idea of how it can be turned into a probiotic drink. You see, usually probiotic drinks have milk, lactose, and there are people who are lactose intolerant. Now you have now the possibility of a probiotic drink that can be lactose, or rather without lactose. So, but then is this even viable? Will the market want it? Is there a way to put this into something useful for society? That's the challenge. Make this a viable, commercially viable product and something that serves society. Next, we have Edge AI, which has to do with software where you do AI type analysis. Most of the time this gets done in the cloud computing, but now they've come up with the technology from the Advanced Digital Security Center in Singapore, in NUS. They came up with a method where this could potentially be put onto devices with what they call as edge computing. So very intricate, deep stuff, deep technology, but is this even useful? Is there some application out there where it could be used in mass usage or in businesses? Again, it's your job to find out if there is a need. Supra is yet another product which is in the ophthalmology area, where our Professor Hong Ming Hui has come up with his team with a technique of mapping out the eye, inside the eye, for diseases like glaucoma, and they can do it with a portable device. Today, this has to be done in the clinic with a lot of staining, eye drops and things like that, and it takes a long time and it's expensive. They have come up with a portable device that could be potentially be used in the field. But again, is glaucoma the right place? Is there some other eye condition, or how else can we commercialize this? This is the challenge. Next, we have nanomold. Again, another interesting technology coming out of IMRI initially, now going into a company, and they have come up with the way to do nano injection molding, down to micron and nanometer scale injection molding. Again, another interesting technology, but who needs this? Why do they need this? This is the job to be done, and figure out if it is even commercially viable. Finally, we have Vidus. Yet another twist about scaffolding for buildings when you put up buildings. Those scaffolding have become environmentally non-friendly, and they have become have started having a larger carbon footprint. Today, we have someone who has come up with a technique, and this gentleman right now sits in Germany, and with a team here in Singapore as well. And they have a way to treat bamboo so that it doesn't degrade and can be environmentally friendly and therefore reduce your carbon footprint and can be used as a scaffolding. With that, those are the 5 projects. I'm going to pause here for questions. Any questions? If not, I'm going to move on to just flash on the screen some of the reasons why you may want to take this course. The nice thing is you get to do a lot of roles which you may not otherwise get to do in real life. You may be an engineer and could never think about becoming a finance person. Or you could be a business school person but never think about designing a product. Here is an opportunity to do all of them. And yet, if you fail, it doesn't really matter because we grade you for trying. We don't grade you for being successful. Effort and the willing to get out of the box and trying new ways of doing things is what we're looking at. With that, I want to quickly tell you that our ex-students are all part of a community called eMagna, and there are a number of activities that they do, and they have a LinkedIn group, and there is a whole community of them. This is a subcommittee. There's an international chapter in Europe as well. And with that, I'd like to go on to the next steps. Next steps, these are the 3 QR codes for enterprise development, frugal innovation, and TechLaunch. If you are interested in any one or more than one of those courses, click on the QR codes and register yourself. That's the first step. And you get to choose which project that you want to. You heard from Vinod, the projects for enterprise development. You also heard from myself for the frugal innovation and TechLaunch projects. Here's a chance to click on them and start registering. Next, attend the very first Zoom lesson. In the case of InnoVenture, it's at 3 p.m. on the 13th of January. For enterprise development, it's on the 15th of January at 6 p.m. right here in Tech Hub. And frugal innovation is on the 11th. And finally, TechLaunch is on the 12th. And those are the very first Zoom lessons. So please come for the first Zoom lessons. Please register online for your choice of projects. And then the next step, if you've captured that already, I see some people taking some photos. Good. By the way, for those who are interested in the slides and information, please provide your email addresses on the chat line. And I have Yonghao, you can capture those, right? Okay, so if you're interested, please put down your email addresses on the chat line. We will send it to you. Step 2, if you're interested, the first round of registration for ISAM students within engineering opens on the 30th of December and closes on the 31st December at 5 p.m. We invite you to go onto the system to register in Modrec, and the link is there. Next, for all other students, unfortunately, you can only join us in round 2. And you need to use the submit module request option. And round 2 opens on the 4th of January and closes on the 5th of January at 12 noon. Please note, it's 12 noon, so you need to be quick about it. And it will go through a 2-step process from your own home department. I noticed we have a medical student here, or rather from someone from the medical faculty. So if you do, it needs to go through your own department as well, and then come over. to us. If for any instance you are not able to get to round 2, you are invited to join the round 3, where you can also do an appeal. And that starts on the 7th of January at 9 a.m. and closes on the 8th of January at 12 noon. Very short time. So that's the last option. Appeals are on the 3rd round. With that, I stop for now. And before we close, one last Q&A, and any comments from any of our other members of IEL, you're most welcome to say a few words. With that, I think we've come to the end. Feel free to continue to contact us. I have my email address here. We also have our other details, even our LinkedIn groups over here. Feel free to contact us at any time. And our website is provided, and that provides more details about the courses and the projects that we have. With that, I'd like to thank you. Have a good evening, and see you on the 11th of January, the week of the 11th of January, for our courses. Thank you and have a good night.